Welcome to another Natural Grocers Nutrition Education presentation. Hello everyone, I'm Janine with Natural Grocers, and I am pleased to welcome Barbara Swanson. Barbara is a nutrition consultant and author of Beyond Foods, the Handbook of Functional Nutrition. Welcome, Barbara.
Thanks, Janine, and thank you everybody for joining us today. I am going to get my presentation started for us. So today we're going to be talking about brain health, brain gain, building and maintaining a healthy brain. So actually, did you know we have three brains? I'm going to start with that because a lot of people don't realize that. We have our main brain, which is in our head, over 100 billion neurons. Your heart actually has over 40,000 neurons, and your gut has over 100 million neurons. It's called the second brain, and it actually produces over 90% of the serotonin in your body. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what that means for your main brain as we go on. But today we are focusing on the big brain. Although your brain is actually only 2% of your body weight, it uses 20 to 25% of all the oxygen you breathe in and all of the metabolic energy you produce. So this very small organ is a huge energy hog. And if we are low on oxygen, if we are low on energy, the brain suffers, always. So what we're going to go over generally is what your brain does, how your brain does it, what it needs to do its job, and then what you can do to create great brain function. So what does your brain do? Obviously a lot. This is kind of, I'm sure everybody realizes this, but your brain controls all autonomic nerve functions. So this includes anything you don't have to think about but keeps you alive, like breathing, heartbeat, your metabolism, digestion. Your brain is doing all of that in the background 100% of the time. It also controls your mental functions, including intelligence, cognition, and memory. And something a lot of people don't really, I think, fully appreciate is it's the host of your emotional being, or how you see and respond to outside stimuli. And each of these is going to factor into who you are and how you view your world. This is so important. Poor brain health can change who you are, and it can change how you see the world around you. So how does your brain work? It has some important molecules that keep it running. These include phospholipids, which tell your neurons where to be. Neurotransmitters tell your neurons what to do, and neurotrophins maintain and renew your neurons. Now, neurons aren't only in the brain, but the brain is the host to the most of them in the body. So phospholipids are a special type of lipid-based or fat-based molecule. They're bound to a protein and they are attracted to fat and then also attracted to water. So they have like poles, and they are essential for all cell membranes in your entire body. These are what allow your cells to intake nutrients and release toxins. Now in your brain and spinal cord, these phospholipids also help to control the positioning or where your sensory neurons lie. So if you are short on omega-3 fatty acids in your diet, your brain can not be able to place sensory neurons to tell you what's going on, how it's going on, how you feel about it. You can literally not be able to think clearly or react clearly because you need these nutrients, omega-3 fatty acids in particular, but also minerals and vitamins, which are the cofactors for these phospholipids. Neurotransmitters are your body's chemical messengers. They transmit signals from nerve cell to nerve cell and also nerve cell to targeted cells like your muscles or glands or other nerves. They regulate many necessary functions like heart rate, digestion, and examples of neurotransmitters include serotonin, GABA, and dopamine. Neurotrophins are the chemicals, the molecules that induce survival, development, and function of your neurons. These are growth factor chemicals. They stimulate your body to control neurogenesis, or the formation of neurons and the maintenance of neurons. So examples include nerve growth factor and brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And this molecule is not really meant to make necessarily a lot of sense, but I really wanted to put it in there because you'll see in the center brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is getting a lot of press nowadays with some supplements. But take a look at all the other molecules and chemicals that are involved in that BDNF functioning in your brain. And each of those has unique minerals and unique vitamin needs. I just want people to understand that a single supplement will never provide the vast complex of nutrients that you need for a truly healthy body, including your brain. So what does your brain need? The very broad answer is that your brain needs energy. So it needs a steady source of glucose that is well regulated. It needs oxygen. You need a lot of oxygen that is quickly replaced as it's being used. And you need the building blocks of brain cells and neurochemicals, so key micronutrients, and you do need these on a daily basis. What can I do to support my brain? Well, the first thing you can do, believe it or not, is exercise, obviously bringing oxygen in the body. But the effects go beyond oxygenation. It actually, exercise increases key brain chemicals. It increases the production of certain transmitters that translate into feeling happy and calm. And studies show that exercising even just 20 minutes a day can boost your long-term memory up to 10%. Research also shows that regular exercise reduces the incidence of depression, so it can affect the neurochemicals that make you feel happy or sad or anxious. Get enough good sleep. Really, you need 7 to 8 hours of consecutive sleep. You need not just 4 hours here, 4 hours there, because while you're sleeping, your brain is clearing abnormal proteins that accumulate during your day. This is also the time when your brain consolidates and stores memories away, which boosts your overall memory capacity. If you chronically are short of sleep, your likelihood of developing dementia, Alzheimer's, and other brain disorders goes up a significant percentage by the time you're in your 40s and 50s. Good sleep is underrated. And of course, eat rich sources of dietary nutrients. And what's fun is this is a picture I found online, but every single one of these things that are shown here, the egg and the blueberries and the tomatoes and the salmon, the nuts, these are noted as specific brain nutrient rich foods. So these are foods that you can add to your diet that will directly feed your brain. So let's take a look at what some of those micronutrients are. Vitamins. Permanent nerve damage can occur if you have a B12 deficiency and it's not treated. B vitamin deficiency in later life leads to brain shrinkage, dementia, and Alzheimer's. B vitamin deficiency, especially B12, is linked to neuropsychiatric disorders, including seizures, migraines, chronic pain, and mood disorders. Perhaps the most famous is schizophrenia. They did a study with schizophrenics and B12, and schizophrenics, people diagnosed with schizophrenia had dramatic improvement and complete abatement of symptoms in some cases with the addition of adequate B12 to their diet. Vitamin D. There's a lot of info about vitamin D and how important it is, and with very good reason. At the bottom, you'll see D is intimately involved with brain development, something called synaptic plasticity, and this is the way your brain is able to change its thinking, change its reaction as you mature, grow up, and learn more. If your synapses don't have a plasticity to them, you get stuck in ruts and you cannot change. And so it's quite important as we grow older and learn things. Calcium signaling, regulating neurotropic factors, so regulating how your neurons are going to be maintained, regulating your neurotransmitters, protecting your brain. It's an anti-inflammatory, which is super important with anything that uses a lot of oxygen. And vitamin D deficiency has been shown to affect cognitive dysfunction, Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, depression, MS, seasonal affective disorder, Parkinson's, autism, stroke, epilepsy. I could go on. There's over 300 diseases that have been linked to a deficiency of D. Vitamin E. Now, this isn't really about vitamin E, this whole picture here, but I really liked it because it gives some great advice. Vitamin E is a very important anti-inflammatory vitamin. It's really important in keeping your brain from creating free radicals. But also here, it talks about exercising, managing your stress, sleeping, keeping your brain active with new thoughts and new experiences, staying social so that you keep your brain active within a community of people, and of course, a balanced diet. Now this, don't bother with all of the outside stuff. I have a reason for it being there, but it's not that important for this presentation. What is important is in the center is vitamin K dependent proteins. So these are called sphingolipids. These are a very special type of fatty molecule, which is absolutely dependent on vitamin K to function. And the sphingolipids include myelin, which is part of your myelin sheath that covers all your nerves, sulfatides, cerebrosides, and gangliosides. These are all types of molecules that create your brain. They're special types of fats. And you have to have vitamin K for these to work. Now, how many people are taking blood thinners and have been told to have no K in their diet? How many people eat no dark leafy greens, which is the main source of vitamin K? There is a real issue in our country with a lack of vitamin K. And of course, it's no surprise that we're also seeing an ongoing upsurge of brain dysfunction in younger and younger ages. Important minerals include macrominerals. These are ones you need a lot of in your diet. These include sodium, which are essential for the electrical activity of your neurons, and calcium, also essential for neurotransmissions. Microminerals, including copper, manganese, and zinc, selenium. Magnesium is another macromineral, super important because it's estimated about 80% of Americans are low in magnesium. Again, you need to eat lots of veggies to get enough magnesium, and a lot of people don't. Improves focus, improves memory, improves sleep, fights stress, crucial for the production of energy, has a calming effect on the nervous system. Imagine if you're chronically short of magnesium, you might be anxious, unfocused, with brain fog, poor sleep. That describes probably 40% of Americans, honestly. Iron. Of course, iron is essential to carry oxygen into the brain, so it's no surprise that it improves attention, participates in the production of neurotransmitters, on and on and on. Without oxygen, your brain can't function. Without iron, you don't get oxygen to your brain. Iodine is one that has been getting some press the last couple of years. Iodine is super important to brain health. There is a specific type of mental retardation called cretinism that is specific to a severe lack of iodine in the diet. And once you have that happen, you cannot recover from that. You can't add iodine and get that brain function back. So having enough iodine is important. Now, this is not necessarily a big deal in America. It is in other countries, however. And a good source of iodine, a natural source of iodine, would be your sea vegetables. Another essential dietary nutrient is your essential fatty acids, and we talked about the importance of those omega-3 acids. And then the orange are clinical studies, the blue are epidemiological studies or studies done in populations. So all of these benefits have multiple types of studies showing that they occur by adding essential fatty acids or making sure you have enough EFAs in your diet. I'm not going to go through all of them, but pretty much if it's brain, you've got to have essential fatty acids because your brain's mostly fat. Other important brain nutrients that are slightly different is fiber. Fiber actually can help delay brain aging because it triggers probiotic bacteria to produce a very specific type of short-chain fatty acid, short chain fatty acid that has anti-inflammatory properties that is actually carried up to the brain specifically once it's created. Antioxidants, because of its high oxygen use, the brain requires a lot of antioxidants all the time because free radical damage is always a byproduct of oxygen use at a cellular level. There are a lot of different families of powerful plant antioxidants, including all pigments, polyphenols, catechins, and there's many, many more, but those are some of the bigger families. And then other neuro-supporting nutrients, including PEA, or phenylethylamine, which is found in chocolate, raw cheese, and AFA algae, and nerve growth factor, that NGF I talked about, found in lion's mane mushrooms. These are great foods to add to your diet to support your brain function. But perhaps most important are your probiotics because of the gut-brain axis. Your gut and your brain are intimately tied. And brain dysfunction due to poor health includes anxiety and depression, Alzheimer's and dementia, and I could go on, but those are some of the big ones. And there's a lot of complexity to the science of this. I'm super simplifying all of this, but basically your microbiome matters. And if you take a look at the right, you'll see that all these different neurotransmitters, GABA, norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, these are produced by the good bacteria in your gut. 80 to 90% of your brain's neurotransmitters are not produced in the brain. They're produced in your gut. And if your gut is out of balance, your brain is suffering. It's so important to understand this gut-brain connection. It's bidirectional. The brain talks to the gut literally talks to the brain via the vagus nerve. And the bacteria in your gut digest the food to create these neurotransmitters. But the lining of our gut has its own independent nervous system. And when people talk about they had a gut feeling, an intuition in their gut, it's real. Because the enteric nervous system informs the brain when something isn't right. Like maybe you say, I don't feel right. Something's not right in my body. Your gut and your brain are having a conversation and your gut is trying to talk about what is going on. So if you change your microbiome to the better, your brain health changes to the better, and the opposite's true. Foods to enhance brain health. Raw fruit and vegetables, for sure, for the antioxidants, the enzymes, the fiber, and of course, cooked fruit and vegetables can work as well, although a lot of antioxidants and enzymes are not heat tolerant. So eating raw is really helpful. And what you want to do is eat color, eat lots and lots of color. Every type of color is a different type of antioxidant. Every type of antioxidant adds to your health, not just in your brain, but in your entire body. If there's one simple thing to do outside of drinking water that will improve your general health, it would be eat more foods of color and eat them raw as much as possible. Oily fish, seeds and nuts for the essential fatty acids. People who are vegetarian and vegan, seeds and nuts are great sources. And this is a great picture. There's avocado, olive oil, walnuts, pumpkin seeds. However, it's important, flax seeds is a great source of omega-3s. It's important to note that eggs, salmon, cold water fatty fish, and even butter is actually very brain protective. And then broccoli, believe it or not a lot of fat, but broccoli works well. The fiber in broccoli works well to host those omega-3s into other neurochemicals. And again, that's that same picture from before, just showing this whole host of yummy foods that will really make you feel better. Live culture fermented foods, this is for your gut. These things contain probiotics, they contain enzymes. They don't have to be dairy. They can be fermented vegetables, miso, fermented soybeans, kimchi. Fermented dairy is often good for some people, but not everybody. And then I really believe in adding ancient foods, wild and ancient foods to your diet. These are really the basis of our entire food chain. Our bodies were created off of the nutrients found in these wild and ancient foods, which are basically your algae, both sea and freshwater, and your fungi. The nutrients in these ancient foods are rich in minerals, amino acid, antioxidants, and very unusual antioxidants, and other phytonutrients like certain pigments that are only found in blue-green algae, for example. These red pigments, these blue and green pigments found in algae are up to 1,000 times more effective than pigments found in vegetables. So in summary, everything is connected, and every step you take towards better health is a step away from the poor health. And the basic rule of brain health is just give your body the 3 materials your brain needs. Oxygen, so exercise. Give it the building blocks of brain chemistry with a varied whole food diet with lots of raw and fermented foods. And rest and repair. Do your best to get 6 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep on a daily basis. Thank you for watching, and if you would like a free in-depth health report, you can click onto that, or you can go to that website and fill that out, and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barbara, for presenting with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like the video and subscribe for more virtual classes from Natural Grocers. Are you looking for a personalized nutrition device to support your unique health goals? Please visit naturalgrocers.com/virtual-coaching to book a free one-on-one nutritional health coaching session with your nutritional health coach today.